Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Strobel, and I want to talk to all the educators out there right now who are still feeling the overwhelm, the exhaustion. I know for me, when I was still in the classroom, I felt like I walked out of those doors every single day and it was just never enough, right? I just would get the good old chain out and start whipping myself across the back because what I had to give that day just seemed like it was never enough. And, I know as educators, there's something inside of us that says, that we want to be everything we can be for our students and our colleagues and our coworkers. But I also know that teachers in particular really struggle with being able to take care of their social, mental, and emotional well being. And so we end up depleting ourselves in the process, which is why I want to share tip number 2 with you for how to cope in these very stressful times. And so, tip number 2 is, why does a positive brain matter? Well, I'll tell you from the research that a positive brain is 31% more productive than a brain at negative, neutral, or stressed. And I'm going to say that one more time. A positive brain is 31% more productive than a brain at negative, neutral, or stressed. And so I ask you as educators to think about, where is your brain most of the time? Or if you're a leader in your building, an administrator, and you're thinking about the well-being of your employees, where is their brain most of the time? Is their brain at negative? Is it at neutral? Or is it at stressed? Or is it at positive? Because if it's not at positive a lot of the time, what that means is that they're losing productivity. And so, I get it. I think, like, on top of everything else, the teaching profession was already very, very difficult before COVID. And now somehow it's even become more difficult. And I'm really concerned because I feel like teachers were already kind of burned out and now they're getting really burned out. And so we have to know that our well-being and our self-care practices need to come a little bit more to the forefront. And I know this is going to be hard to hear because as a teacher myself who would spend hours and hours after school prepping lessons, then would spend hours upon hours at home grading, and then would drive my car there on Saturday and Sundays and get, sometimes be making materials for literacy stations or whatever it is. What I know is that when your brain is at stressed and you think you're being productive by doing all of that, you're really not. You really have to be able to step outside of everything that you feel like you need to be doing and give yourself a little grace. And what I mean by that is, know that you have the permission to take care of yourself, to leave the school at 4 p.m. And even though that means that some things are left undone, or to know that you're not going to grade everything because you cannot keep up with all of that. Plus, we know now it doesn't even help to grade every single thing that our students are doing. But I think that we give so much of ourselves to this profession, and I always admire that. I think that teachers carry a core character value in that this profession is so important to them, and their ability to impact and influence kids is so important. But what happens is we actually begin to lose productivity when our brain gets over there in that very stressed state. Okay. And so I just want you to know the research, because we even know that after a certain amount of hours, you actually start to lose your ability to even be average productivity. So we think that we're putting in all these hours and we're getting more stuff done, but in reality, we're really not. And so just know that your brain at positive is 31% more productive than your brain at negative, neutral, and stressed. And use that piece of research to kind of take a breath, to give yourself some grace, to tell yourself, you know what? I did what I could today. And now I'm going to step out of my role and step back into my other life because my family and I deserve to have those other pieces of myself. I hope that helps you today.